Former South African President Jacob Zuma appeared in court on Saturday after most senior judges agreed to hear his appeal of a 15-month prison sentence issued last week. The Supreme Court ordered police to arrest the 79-year-old if he does not surrender to authorities by Sunday following his failure to appear before a corruption investigation earlier this year. Zuma was ousted as president after being investigated in multiple corruption scandals in 2018, having held power for 9 years. The politician has spent recent days trying to get supporters to back him, particularly in his stronghold of KwaZulu-Natal, where he made a brief appearance in public on Saturday. However, thus far, efforts to mobilize a widespread protest against his arrest have not borne fruit. A small crowd gathered outside Zuma's Kadla homestead. Among the supporters were approximately 24 women who claimed to have traveled over 300 kilometers overnight from the neighboring Eastern Cape province. "We support Zuma and want to know what will happen to him, which is why we're here," Cecilia Nongche, 43, said as she wrapped herself in a traditional Nuni blue and red blanket to ward off the chill. "We adore Nxamalala," she said in Zulu, referring to Zuma by his traditional clan name and expressing hope that he would come out to speak with them. Other supporters arrived in 2 minibuses, waving ANC flags and wearing white T-shirts bearing the inscription, "Wenzeni Uzuma," which translates as, "What has Zuma done?" in Zulu. South African analysts were taken aback by the Supreme Court's decision to consider the former president's appeal of its own decision. "If Zuma is imprisoned, we can assert that South Africa has the rule of law. If he does not, then neither do we. There is no new evidence, which means the system is being twisted to accommodate politics, which will disappoint people worldwide," said Ralph Mathiga, a political commentator. In its ruling last week, the South African Supreme Court noted that the former president had repeatedly stated that he would prefer to be imprisoned than cooperate with the corruption investigation. Zuma then submitted a 30-page statement in which he accused judges of exasperation and urged the Supreme Court to reassess whether it acted in accordance with the Constitution. Zuma's health would also be jeopardized in prison, as he would be unable to receive necessary care and might contract COVID-19. The contempt of court charges stemmed from Zuma's repeated failure to appear in February before South Africa's Deputy Chief Justice, Raymond Zondo. Numerous witnesses have detailed widespread corruption and mismanagement during Zuma's presidency, but the former president testified only once, in July 2019, before staging a walkout days later. He vigorously denies any wrongdoing. In February, Zondo stated that he would seek a court order compelling Zuma to testify or face prison because, otherwise, the message sent out is that people can ignore or disregard court summonses and orders with impunity and very little of our democracy will remain. Zuma has accused Zondo of bias and stated that the allegations leveled against him were fabricated by a variety of actors, including foreign intelligence agencies. The commission is investigating the majority of the alleged corruption involving 3 brothers from a wealthy Indian business family, the Guptas, who allegedly won lucrative government contracts and were even able to choose cabinet ministers. South African media outlets have consistently expressed support for the Constitutional Court. His ardent supporters praise his contribution to the successful transition to democracy. They are entirely correct. Zuma was a patriot, and as a patriot, he should have submitted to the country's laws and institutions, the independent online news website stated. Mathiga stated that the majority of South Africans desired the rule of law to be upheld. "What does dithering by the Constitutional, Supreme Court say about our institutions?" he asked. Zuma's successor as president, Cyril Ramaphosa, a former labor activist who became a wealthy tycoon, has taken steps to eradicate corruption. After a bitter internal ANC struggle and in the face of growing public anger, Ramaphosa became South Africa's president. The recent scandals involving massive sums of corruptly earned government contracts and grants to support the neediest have inflamed anger. Recently, new COVID restrictions have been implemented in an attempt to halt a sharp increase in cases caused by the spread of the more transmissible Delta variant, ineffective countermeasures, and public fatigue with existing restrictions.